Hello, my name is Luby, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, and what I believe is going to be the final episode of the Shizune route. Either that, or there's going to be two more. But, let's see if this is the final part. Let's get into it. There haven't been any further disruptions since that week. Of course, that's what I thought the week before that, and Shizune and Misha's sudden newfound clarity had left me feeling a little lost and envious. I thought there was no way I could rest easy at the time. But fortunately, nothing came of my worries. Then, before I knew it, there was enough to deal with in school that I even managed to put them off my mind. And still, everything was fine. I was wrong. I'd seen Shizune and Misha's carefully hidden vulnerabilities, but they were still strong. Now we're going to be graduating soon. I've grown so comfortable here that it kind of crept up on me. When it did, I felt sad and didn't want to think about it, so I didn't, not until recently. About a week ago, I started making a list of people I thought I should say goodbye to before graduation. The first rule I laid out for myself was that I would try not to write them down in any kind of special order, like least important to most important. Somehow it ended up like that anyway, even though it also ended up being a shorter list than I expected it to be. Kenji is somewhere in the middle. Kenji is not at the bottom of the list. Very cool.
They said I would have to graduate eventually. Well, I showed them. I've lived here rent-free for more than long enough if you take into account the rising cost of land. I think you could say I've won in the end. No, you know what? I did win. History will acknowledge me as the victor.
The victor of what?
I managed to stay out of sight and slip through the cracks. I beat the system.
If you put it that way, it sounds like you just ran away from the system.
Sometimes, running is the greatest form of victory. Like in the Olympics.
I'm too tired to argue with them. Who's he kidding? Everyone knows the shot put is the best Olympic event in any case. Strong opinions is how's God. So what you're basically saying is, you won't miss it?
Miss what?
School, dummy.
No, I told you. This place is too filled with feminists. It's beyond saving, but at least I'll be able to get out before it reaches critical mass. I'll only come back years later when they build a statue to honor me.
Do they do the 10-year later reunion thing here?
How would I know that? Probably. Anyway, I have to start packing now. Take care of yourself, man.
You should have packed a week ago, like I did. Not that I had much to pack.
That's not how it goes. You're supposed to do everything at the last minute. Men are better at doing everything at the last minute. The last minute can have more productivity than, like, the entire week before it. It's how we keep shit fair. You'll never understand our manly ways.
You take care of yourself, too. With a salute, he shoots backwards to the door, slamming it shut behind him hard enough that the entire dorm probably heard it. I've noticed that a lot of people slam doors here. Maybe it's a local thing. Take care of myself. It's the first time I've heard him say it. Usually he ends our conversation with something like, "See ya, I'll pay you back later, man." Well, he was a little annoying sometimes, but I'll miss him. I cross him off my list mentally. The list is very short now, and I once again discard the notion of going through it in any kind of order. Like I said, I'd never had that intention. So I go out to look for Shizune and Misha. I can only think of one place it could be. The student council room, of course. Turning the corner, I almost bump into a small group of students. For a second, a bitter feeling flashes through me, since for all I know, that could have been fatal. It's the new student council. There aren't a lot of them, but a lot more than 3. Which is good, since it means there's enough of them that they can each have their own title. It would have been cool if I could have had a little desk plaque with my name and title on it. I don't think they do that now, or ever did, unfortunately. The new student council surrounds me while I'm thinking, if anyone were looking at this from afar, it would be a pretty sinister sight. Maybe they've come to finally get back on me for calling them the new student council all those times. I was just translating for Shizune, but I guess I should have been I should have been less lazy and more tactful. I regret nothing. I find myself being thanked for everything I've done. I'm being thanked. This should make me happy, considering how often I would think to myself that being in the student council was a completely thankless job. It does make me happy, but I can't enjoy it fully. I wonder how things would have turned out if our student council had grown as large as the one that's set to replace us. Even though they've only got 2 or 3 other members, it's enough that they have set roles. Not like us, where Shizune seemed to be the president, and that was it. The new council thanking me gives me a strange feeling. It's like coming back home and seeing that a tree you nurtured years before has grown. But I feel like I didn't nurture that tree enough. I wonder what more I could have done. It would likely make Shizune furious that I would feel distant from what I did in the student council this way, or that I'd imply I didn't do enough, but it's true. I was only following her. So in a way, I also feel like I'm viewing that same tree from far away, as if I'm seeing it from the window of a train as it passes by. I indulge in these thoughts for too long. When I snap out of it, I realize that I'm still standing there, surrounded by the new student council. I do the only thing I can do and apologize for zoning out. Then I thank them back. When they walk away, I enter the student council room, which looks a lot messier, but seems to have gained a computer. Good for it. It makes sense. I recall hearing one of the clipboard girls talking about her plans to use a computer to make all the boring data entry Shizune does more tolerable. I can't remember which one said it, though. Aoi seems to be the more ambitious one, but then again Kaiko appears more serious. Well, it doesn't matter now. I'm not alone in the room, but instead of finding Shizune here like I expected, it's just Misha. She's sitting on Shizune's desk like Shizune herself often does, swinging her legs back and forth. When her eyes meet, she hops off and inexplicably poses like a superhero. Hi, Hee-chan! I'm surprised to see you here! What are you doing? You first! I was looking for Shizune. Me too! I thought you would be here, but I got Hee-chan instead. Gee, thanks. Wow, just good. Really. I want to talk to you anyway. About what? I take the time to glance around the room a little more. I see a hot plate. They really are living high. I wanted to say sorry, of course, for all the trouble I made for you and Shishan. Don't call it trouble. Right. Don't apologize to Shizune. Right, but that isn't why I'm here, Hee-chan. I want to apologize to Shishan. Since you're here, I want to ask you a question. Hee-chan, what do you think it would take for Shishan to be happy? World domination, obviously. Even though you're joking, Hee-chan. No, even if she could, it wouldn't make Shishan happy. Only for a little while. Hee-chan, have you ever heard of artists who tear up their paintings as soon as they finish them? Such people really exist in the world, you know? I remembered it all of a sudden. It's just like Shishan, now that I think about it. Whenever Shishan sets up a challenge for herself and completes it, she acts like her skills have no meaning anymore. I wonder, is it because she can't create anything permanent? Just like those artists and how they want to create a piece of art to leave behind. A really great one, but can't do it. It's really obvious when I look back at it, but I didn't see it before. Now I'm scared. I wonder if Shishan will ever be happy. No, I don't think so. Not about her ever being happy. I think you're wrong. Shizune is actually happy more often than I thought. I think it's actually kind of amazing. Usually people don't think about that kind of stuff until they're middle-aged or dying. Then they think I want to leave something behind or I want to be remembered. Like me. Only I skipped ahead a little. My life was short and seemed even shorter after my heart attack. I didn't think about what I was leaving behind because I very quickly thought there was almost nothing I was leaving behind. So all that was left for me was to stew in my own bitterness. Shizune already wants to leave her mark somewhere, but she wants to do it by helping people. That's why celebrations are so important to her. She even wants to be a philanthropist. I think it's the best way to live, living on by what you give to others. Even if it's for a selfish reason, that's okay too. Shizune is already happy because if something goes well, there will always be someone else to see and remember it. That's what makes her happy. Shizune is already happy because if... Oh, wait, what? Misha sighs, arms stiff at her sides, hands tapping the air softly. Before I still thought... I might be able to make Shizune happy. And I was in a good place to do it before. Since I was her interpreter, I could always be with her. Maybe... And I thought I could do it by becoming like Shishan's shadow. I kept trying, even when she rejected me. I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't do anything but watch Shishan's back get smaller while she kept going. I was scared, even though I thought I should have just accepted it. It's hard. Maybe you could have at least understood Shishan. But it looks like I was completely wrong after all. I didn't even know that or think about it. Shishan would call it a complete loss. Okay, I'm done. That's it, Hee-chan. But since you're the one who knows Shishan best of all, you can't make her cry, or I'll be angry. I'm gonna go overseas after this. I even have letters of recommendation. I don't think I'll be able to normally. Maybe I'll study and become a sign language teacher over there. Who knows? That means you have to look after Shishan, okay? Misha's smile is as honest as ever, but she's obviously changed. The look in her eyes is that of a much more attentive girl. It seems to be true that hardship builds wisdom. It reminds me of the look in Shizune's eyes. I wonder what Shizune might have been through to have become who she is. I can take a guess. Or maybe she was always like that. I want to see her even more and suggest to Misha that we should look for her together. Of course, it's just a pretext to spend more time with a friend. It's strange how it hasn't been long since we last hung out together, the three of us, in the span of a routine student council day. It seems like it was long ago. Thinking about the future can put that kind of lens over the past. Speaking of lenses, hey! Outside, Yuko was standing around, fiddling with a tiny, modern-looking camera in her hands. It would be unnoticeable if it weren't metallic enough to reflect the sunlight. Misha calls out to her. I thought we were supposed to be looking for Shizune. Hi! What are you doing? I'm just taking photos of everyone. That's obvious! Awkward. Misha, I'll never forget how you taught me that someone can hold so many secrets and still have a massive lack of tact. Where's my photo? You want a copy? I, don't know. Well, only if you promise to keep it a secret, or else everyone will want one too. Happened to me in elementary school, only it was with candy. Okay, I'll take a photo of you now then. Wait, I'm not ready, I was just kidding. Hee-chan, make a peace sign! I'm not gonna do that. The camera flash goes off, blinding me. Yuko shields herself behind it, letting out a moan of frustration. You're not supposed to turn the flash on outdoors. She starts apologizing unnecessarily and then quietly slips away. Wait. Yeah? Did you see Shishan around here? Yeah, in front of the gate. Oh. Thanks. I can barely get it out before I have to start following behind Misha. Fortunately, not for very long. The gate is barely a minute's walk from here, even though that can be tiring for me sometimes. You see Shizune with the student council. They're probably thanking her too. As soon as she sees us, she shoos them away, which is very easy since I doubt any of them can understand sign language or use it, so they're not too sad about leaving. Which in turn makes me wonder why they would thank her without someone who can, but it's the thought that counts. Misha immediately hugs Shizune and then leans against the gate next to her. I, on the other hand, decide to hang back a little and let them talk. After all, Misha wanted to talk to Shizune this whole time. I can wait. I even turn away so I don't eavesdrop on their conversation. I end up losing track of the time. When I look at my watch, it's already been 10 minutes. I wonder if they're done and turn around to find them behind me. What are you thinking about? Boring philosophical things that I don't want to talk about. Don't worry, I'm not thinking about it too hard. Good. Getting philosophical at a time like this would be the worst thing you could do. Yeah, I just want to stand here for a bit. It's relaxing. What? It was a busy week. Not really. Not for me. I know that they must have been busy, but I think I know what I want to do now, and when it hit me, I didn't feel particularly fired up or anxious. It's the opposite. I feel at peace for the first time in a long time, and I want to savor that feeling a little more. I think that I want to teach here. As soon as I thought this, a long, winding road appeared in my mind. An uncertain road that leads back here. I wonder if I'll be able to meet someone in the future like me, someone filled with bitterness. I want to talk to that person since I can't talk to myself. I want to tell them that life is too short. Something that couldn't be told to me, only shown. I want to do it without pity. If I had been pitied, I'm sure that I would have died only a little more. When I think about that first week, I still think about how well it went. So well that it could only be called the result of kindness. I feel like I want to show others the same thing. And I also want to keep chasing Shizune. What did the new student council want, Shishan? It's hard to daydream when you have to deal with Misha's voice. I do know that they had someone who knew sign language. They don't. I think it was most likely just a goodbye, so I appreciate it, even though I couldn't tell them. How'd you know I was here? Is it supposed to be a secret? Anyway, we just asked Yuko. Did she take a photo of you too? Yeah, without asking me first. Since Yuko's doing anything spur of the moment is rare, though, I'll let it go. She snaps her fingers, more because I think she likes it than out of realization of an idea. We should take a photo, the three of us. We haven't taken a student council photo yet. Now's the perfect chance. But if I had to look at this picture a year from now, I don't want it staring back at me. What does that mean, Shishan? Picture's supposed to capture the moment, isn't that right? Without a doubt. They're not portraits. Just standing around would be so stiff. It wouldn't even capture how I feel. I feel like we'll meet again. So, this isn't an occasion to take such a serious photo. It should be a see you later type of photo, not a big deal. It should be something more festive. Oh boy. Like this, follow me. Shizune poses like a musketeer, so quickly that I'm sure even she knows it's silly. Do we really have to do such a cheery pose? I can think of no better pose. Misha, go find Yuko. I don't like this pose either, but I think it's kind of nice. That doesn't even make sense. She's already gone and returns dragging Yuko behind her. The flash is off. A red LED blinks 3 times above it after Yuko's finger presses the button. Shizune glances at both of us to make sure we have the timing down. Synchronized watches, we jump. I bet that turned out excellently. Okay. Now let's get one with Yuko, too! No, please. That's not necessary. I want a copy of this photo, too. I'll likely die younger than the average person. My life could unexpectedly burn out at any time. I don't have any time to waste, then. I want to live as much as possible. I also want to see other people smile from what I've made and done. Living vicariously through the happiness of others doesn't seem so bad. Feeling joy through another person's happiness doesn't seem like such a bad thing. It's the easiest way I can think of to draw out my own life and give distinction. Maybe this is the meaning that Shizune has found for herself, although it's just my theory. People find themselves alone often in their lives and without direction. However, people can take refuge in moments of happiness. They can dot a person's life like stops in a train map or waypoints of memory on a long trail. These individual moments on reflection can give a person's life fulfillment. Every friend and festival, and joyful meeting and joyful parting. I want to be able to ask Shizune one day if I'm right. I want to spend the time I have with her. Finally, I want to make Shizune smile for herself. I don't know, but it's always weird to say a line like this. I love you. I pause, wondering if she'll look at me, confused, and ask why I said it out of the blue. She doesn't. Do they do that reunion thing here? Of course they do. A student council member should know that. Sooner than that, though, okay? Both of you. Right! Yeah. Yuko, you do the pose too. Afterwards, we can go for tea. Shizune laughs as if she doesn't have a care in the world. Misha's laughter joining with hers as easily as if it were her own. We'll meet again. I know they'll meet again. Well, I wasn't expecting it to be over that fast. Yeah. That's, wow, okay. We are now 3/5 of the way through the game. That, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, is the Shizune route of Katawa Shoujo. Okay. I have some stuff to say about this route. Okay, first off, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it to be, okay, I don't want to be mean about it, okay? But I just want to say, I think this is my least favorite route so far. I mean, it is a bad thing, but at the same time, this was still, like, you know, incredible, still a really great experience. I love this route. But it's just my least favorite one so far. I don't know. I guess just some moments felt like really different from the other routes, I guess. Like written weirdly. I kind of feel like the romance parts weren't super established, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like it was a weird, like a weirdly written route, if you understand me. But, I mean, it was still amazing. I'm not calling it a bad route. That was amazing. And also, look, we have the little row here. And I'm guessing the other 2 routes will be right here. But yeah, that was it's a pretty short episode this time. Actually, now that I think about it, I might not want to skip to the last page, because there might be CGs of the other stuff. But, yeah. That is the Shizune route. Yeah, I really liked it. Although, you know, I don't have a lot more to say other than I guess I really enjoyed, like, the parts with Shizune. I really liked the relationship between Shizune and Misha. That was written really well. I'm glad that Misha got, like, more of a character in this. I was scared that in this route Misha would just be like a goofy little side character and Shizune would be the main one, but I'm glad that this route, like, treated both of them as the main characters. Although I guess Hisao is technically the main character of every route. But I like that they gave Misha more depth. It's gonna be weird going to another route and seeing Misha just be, you know, bubbly, dumb girl again. Yeah, that's this episode of Katawa Shoujo. I hope you enjoyed seeing the entire Shizune route, if you stuck around for all of it. I know I did. And I'll see you next time. But I wonder for whose route, After all, there's only 2 left. Rin and Hanako. I wonder who will do next. I guess I already know. But I guess you'll just have to find out next time. I'll see you then for the next route of Katawa Shoujo. Peace.